Let's see. Probably about to break the camera. Yep. There we go. And there. And two. All right, we working? We working. What's up, everybody? What up, Nick? It's been a minute. How the hell have you been, man? Sorry I missed last week's stream. I've been away Friday night and only got back Saturday evening. Very tired and wanted to sleep. Very understandable. Also, please never leave for 2 weeks in a row again. I was, and I think I speak for all of chat, incredibly bored without a stream to watch for 2 Saturdays in a row. But in all seriousness, hope you enjoyed the cons. I believe you were at cons. I was at San Diego Comic-Con. I can't remember why I wasn't there the first time. I was at 2 weeks in a row. I don't remember. What was I doing the week before? I don't remember. Anyway, I'll pop back into the stream later once I've finished watching your reaction to episode 2 of Wednesday. What's up, Janie? How are you? How am I doing and how are the cats today? Cats are good. The little black one right now is still like mildly scared of me, but I'm trying to fight through it. Right now, out of the 3 kittens, like if I catch them while they're too tired to really move, like they'll purr, they'll let me pet them and everything, but if like they're like awake, 2 of them still just immediately run away. But one of them, one of the boys so far does not. And I'm like, you're not my favorite. Very good and a little nervous and exciting for Canada Games next week. What's your favorite genre of video games? Example, RPG, stealth, adventure, etc. I'd say action adventure probably, or action RPG. You know, something like Kingdom Hearts or Devil May Cry, but also like, well, I mean, I don't like all survival horror games, but I mean, like The Last of Us I really like, and Resident Evil is like one of my all-time favorite video game franchises, so something along those lines is usually a go-to. A classic RPG is also a good kind of go-to, but like if the story or the pacing isn't really strong, I might get a little bored pretty quickly, but I love a lot of those. But I mean, my favorite video game franchise of all time is Kingdom Hearts, hence why, you know, I decided to change it up from the You Will Be Okay music here and put on some cozy little Kingdom Hearts backtracks. That's my favorite, alongside Final Fantasy, and then I'd say it's probably Devil May Cry, and then Resident Evil. What's up, Zeman Reviews? How's it going? Doing well. I'm hyped for Peacemaker Season 2. Checking out your reactions today to Season 1. Hell yeah, dude. I can't wait. Cannot wait for Season 2. I only got a couple days left. What's up, JC? What's up, Hunter? What's up, Isaac? What the predictions of Peacemaker Season 2? Is that what we're trying to say here? Predictions? I really don't know. Prediction. No prediction. Sorry, misspell. I don't know. I really have no idea. Other than the idea that we may deal with the multiverse at all, I have absolutely no idea what the actual plot is going to be. How am I on tongue twisters? Well, I'm dyslexic, so it's very much a struggle sometimes. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? A woodchuck would chuck all the wood he could chuck. See, I had to like pace myself there. Whose comeuppance was the most satisfying? High Evolutionary or Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor? Probably, like, if we're talking about the movies, probably High Evolutionary. Jesse, how's your week? It's been good. How about yours? What's up, Ginger? You're on time, I see. And you're rocking your Dream Boy. Now, I saw you changed your pick. Gravity Falls, yippee! Hell yeah, man. I'm 5 episodes deep, 1 on YouTube. Night of the Seven Kingdoms is at New York Comic Con, and likely we'll get a trailer in October. The new Game of Thrones series premiering in January or February. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not like excited. I'll probably watch it all the same just because, but definitely not like, you know, yearning for it at all. But I'm hoping that a trailer might change my mind on it. What's up, Gavin? What's up, Omni and the denizens of the Omniverse? Hope everyone is good, including you. Be unfortunate if you weren't including me. Are you excited for the rest of Avengers Doomsday Cast on the 27th next weekend? Are we confirmed getting an update on it then? I almost would rather not know. I haven't been here in a hot minute. Went golfing last week and a barbecue with some friends, then a birthday party on the same weekend. You had a busy weekend. Sounds like you had a lot of fun though. Man, I haven't golfed in a long time. I'd love to go. What's up, 10K? Gravity Falls has ciphers in its, what the codes are called. The first episode has 2 with the opening theme, and his stand is is not what he seems, and 2 is Welcome to Gravity Falls. Yeah, I know. I know. Again, I'm 5 episodes in, and if somebody in Patreon did not let me know, something would have been wrong. But I start reading the ciphers in the 2nd episode. I knew it going into it, I just didn't know what to look for in the 1st episode. But I do address the ones in the 1st episode and the 2nd episode. Though I did forget to read episode 5's that I recorded yesterday. So I have to do that in the follow-up. I finally watched Fantastic Four. Yay! And it's fantastic. Yes, I went there. I won't say anything because you probably haven't seen it. Yeah, I still haven't seen it yet. So, yeah, I've still not seen any films since Superman. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Also, I'm King Big Chill. I changed it because I thought it was a little silly. So I just put my real name. Fair enough. I mean, I recognized the profile picture, so I assumed so. What's up? Oh, so this is Sheldor, by the way. I'm using my backup account since my computer is saying F me today. Well, I hope you get that fixed. But thank you for clearing that up. I hope everything gets fixed with your computer, man. I know that can be stressful as hell, dude. I've been watching Power Rangers Jungle Fury, and the purpose of that show is animal spirits. In your opinion, what do you think your animal spirit is? I'm a wolf. I would love to be a wolf. However, I do not think I would be a wolf. I would probably be a fucking pigeon or something stupid. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I would be. The wolf is my favorite animal. Go figure. But I have no idea. I'm not that vain enough to think I'm cool enough to actually be a wolf. I've got no clue. After watching K-pop Demon Hunters, have you dipped your toe into some K-pop? Nope. Nothing beyond the soundtrack of that movie just yet. Slides in a slightly different guitar sting than last week. Bonjour, crime bags. I don't know if that was a reference or not. Anyway, if you start at Gravity Falls, then when will you start Beastars? Those two aren't even correlated. How do you get from one to the other? And I've been saying I'm starting Gravity Falls for like 3 months now. If not longer. Beastars is anywhere on the radar. I wonder what Peacemaker's dance is going to look like. I'm very curious what the opening track and the opening sequence is going to be this time around at all. Deadpool is confirmed to be Avengers Doomsday Cast. When did that happen? I'm going to say you're enjoying Gravity Falls. I remember I used to watch the show back in the day on cable, one of my favorite mystery shows, and you're reacting to it, giving me nostalgia. Hell yeah. Yeah, it's first episode's doing pretty good so far, which is good, good. I mean, Owl House did too, and it fell off for a little bit, but I think the first episode of anything is always going to be a little bit more of a ramp up. But hopefully, people stick around for the long haul with this one. I'm absolutely losing my shit looking at the preview Viv just posted. New hell of a short on 9/6, and Moxie dressed up as a mafia boss. I'm screaming, oh no. So I guess this one will be Moxie-centric, I hope. I'm also excited. I have not seen this preview yet. But 9/6, I'm glad we're getting some shorts. Pretty, at least decently consistent at the moment. Let's see. I did you say Gunn said the Peacemaker Season 2 sets up the rest of the DCU and is incredibly important? That's what they've said so far. Some are concerned that an R-rated TV series will be important to the future of the DCU. Oh well. Deal with it. Move on. What's up, Dion? It has been a minute. Hope you're doing well, man. What's up, Cracking Butt? So stoked for you starting Gravity Falls. I'm glad. Everybody seems to be excited so far. Hell yeah, I changed my profile pic. Thanks for noticing. Miss my emo boy. Me too. Me too. I need to watch your Patreon Alien Earth reaction. I've been a busy man, but I don't mind any spoilers. Is it good so far, guys? I like a majority of it. I'm like 75% of it I like, 25% of it I'm a little confused by and or I am laughing at. But that's better than previous Alien movies in the film past. Omni, I've been enjoying your reactions to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Good. I'm glad. This arc has been crazy, man. Seuss is my favorite. Seuss has some really interesting interactions so far. I'm not excited for Game of Thrones anymore because, as a book fan, I hated the changes they made to House of the Dragon Season 2. See, I haven't read the book, Fire and Blood, at all, purposefully for that reason. I've read both, like all of the original books, like for the mainline stuff, and I think for the most part, for what the show was able to adapt before it started to sort of freeball in it, I like almost all of the changes from book to show. However, obviously, as things got off the rails, I really hope that the book can bring that around if it ever comes out. But I don't know enough about the ins and outs, the intricacies of House of the Dragon storyline to really have called it out. I liked it for what it was. I think season 2 dragged quite a bit, but I like the show so far for what it is. Going to see Weapons tomorrow. Hell yeah. Hearing great things about that. If I can always say if I can make it, I want to go see it. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it or go see it. But I want to. Film's getting hyped up all to hell. What's up, Christian? It's been a while since I've been here. I was avoiding every spoiler for Superman, and I watched it last night. Well, hell yeah. I'm glad you finally watched it. So what did you think? I see you mentioned that and then you didn't even say nothing. Come on, get on it. How is SECC? As someone who doesn't like crowds, will it be okay if I go to SECC one day? Or is it too crowded? Honestly, it was a slow year from what I've been told, and obviously none of the major studios were there. Or like, there was no DC, no Marvel. I mean, Peacemaker was there, but that was the only thing from DC that they had. And obviously Disney and all that didn't have a large presence either, outside of a couple of small things like Tron. Well, that's not small, but Tron and Predator. But it was pretty crowded. It was not as bad as I've seen pictures of. Obviously, like pre-COVID, SCCC was a lot crazier. So when I was there as well, I don't know, it just wasn't like any of the pictures I'd seen. It was pretty easy to navigate. It was still pretty crowded, but not like, it wasn't like overwhelmingly crowded, which was kind of surprising. Like it was still the most people I've seen at a singular convention, I think. But it wasn't. It was probably a good year for a first time, I think. But it just depends. It just depends on what year and who's there and whatnot. But I definitely would like to go back again if I have the opportunity. Remember, peeps, never flirt like Mabel. That's some sound advice right there. Going to see Superman finally tomorrow. Hell yeah. Better late than never, man. I've seen Superman 3 times. Good God. By the way, I'm itching for the basement reveal in Gravity Falls. Dude, I saw a comment on the first video. It's like, don't worry, the reveal for the basement won't take nearly as long as it did for the basement reveal in Attack on Titan. And I'm like, thank God. I would hope not. The entirety of Gravity Falls is shorter than Attack on Titan, so I would hope not. But it's funny that I'm waiting for yet another basement reveal. If you haven't seen Fantastic Four yet, would you consider waiting until release on Disney Plus just in case you're feeling like reacting to it? At this point, I might. It just depends on when it comes out on VOD or not. Or, well, not, but whenever it comes out on VOD, and if I haven't had the time or energy to go. Superman was phenomenal, in my opinion. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I quite liked it. It's definitely my favorite Superman movie in quite a while. Mabel's such a vibe. I love her. She's always made me laugh, and just in case some people get the name wrong, it's Zeus, not Zeus. I mean, I've never known how it's spelled, so I've just been saying Zeus because that's what they say. I've never once thought it was Zeus. So I think I'm on a good track there so far. I would be down for being a bird. I get to fly and make a cool nest and poop anywhere. It is very freeing, I would imagine. The movie was Superman. I like what you did there. I don't know if you know about it, but there's also Amphibia, which I think you'd love. People really watch my videos and don't listen to the opening and outros of any of my videos. Not to put you on the spot, Kraken, but I've talked about Amphibia for a while now too. If you're liking Gravity Falls so far, it starts slow, but then it gets a bit rushed, so it might be challenging to do. No, like I said, after Owl House, I'm doing Gravity Falls, and then I'm doing Amphibia. That's the plan. It's been the plan for probably 4 months, so don't worry. I'm going, after we're done with Gravity Falls, I'm watching Amphibia. Let's see. Without spoilers, how's Wednesday Season 2? I haven't seen it yet, but plan to watch it before your reactions. I like it. I like it a lot. It's a fun little mystery that we got going on. I'm pulling my hair out, trying to figure it out along the way. Breaking it up into 2 parts is a little stupid, but it gave me a break, at least for a couple weeks. So I do appreciate that on the content creation side of it, but I don't know how it's going to go in the long run for the show, but we'll see. But so far, the first 4 episodes I've really liked. How do you feel about the Pine twins, and how do you feel about Wendy? She's my favorite. I mean, Wendy, by this point, the most interaction she's had with anybody has been in episode 5. You know, it's the outing with her and her friends. I think she's cool. I like the fact that she definitely went out of her way to make sure that Dipper was actually comfortable and didn't have to embarrass himself and all that kind of stuff, and that, I don't know, it was a pretty fun start to a cool little relationship, as you know, her getting involved in the shenanigans. I guess my first little intro was like when she was rattling off all of her ex-boyfriends to Mabel in the little Gideon episode, but yeah, she seems like a vibe. Relate to her quite a bit. But the Pine twins, they're hilarious. I love how stark and different they are. They're so much fun to watch, especially when they're playing off of each other like that. I give you an A- on the tongue twister. I'd give myself a B because I did say it pretty slow. Still need to watch Jurassic World Rebirth. Same. Might be a stream watch, but not bad. 2 out of 3 of the July movies. That's not bad at all. Better than I did. I've done 1 so far. That was fast. Deadpool now in Doomsday. I was hoping he would show up in Secret Wars. I think isn't anime infamously a pain in the ass to upload to YouTube? It's not so much that it's a pain in the ass. I mean, honestly, a lot as far as like getting copyright claims and having to deal with blocks and stuff like that. It's more of it's been more of a pain to get a video up for American stuff or anything like that. The problem with anime is there are no copyright laws, there are no fair use laws. So if with anime, if you don't heavily obscure it, if you don't blur it, if you don't whatever, if you're not very meticulous with what you're putting up, there are a lot of studios that will just come for your ass because Japan doesn't see fair use as a thing at all. They have no rights, no protections, no none of it. If you're using their stuff, and they can come after you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And they've nuked entire channels because of if they on a whim. Like there's some very, like with Toei, with One Piece, with Dragon Ball, with stuff like that, it's always been hyper predatory the way they go about things. A lot of Viz stuff is also really bad. I've had them come for my Patreon at one point and fail because they had nothing to stand on. It wasn't them directly, it was somebody trying to get in good graces with them and doing stuff on their behalf, which did not work. The problem with anime is like you're always going to be at risk of having your channel completely nuked, and legally there's nothing you can do about it. Dibbles confirmed yesterday. Interesting. Weird and random. Just saw Super in yesterday, and it was definitely super with a man. No jokes. Actually amazing. Glad most people seem to be enjoying it. Episode 6 of the Amazing Digital Circus dropped last night. Another fantastic episode. Didn't they say it was going to be a one-season story and it was going to be done? Do we know how many episodes it's going to be? Maybe I can catch up before the end, if 6 wasn't the end. Can't wait to see Mortal Kombat 2 movie on October 25th. I'm definitely going to be checking it out. I'm still one of the people that definitely didn't love the first movie. But I'm curious to see if they've learned any lessons or changed anything going into it. I like the trailer that we got. It looks bananas as shit. It looks like a damn good time, but I don't know, we'll guys see. Preview. It was a GIF. Sorry, I didn't mean overselling. No, I knew what you meant. When Viv previews a short, it's usually just a still or a GIF. So I knew what you meant. He looks dead ass way too much like Crimson. Damn, I'm gonna get the hots from Moxie here. I can see Green Arrow. I can see Green Arrow appearing in Peacemaker Season 2, establishing speedsters. That would be cool, especially considering the jokes last season. That would be pretty funny. Loved your Gravity Falls reaction. Thank you. Funny description. I'm intrigued. Like, there's some really, really good ideas in Alien, which I'm excited to see them explore. There's just a couple of things I've found quite questionable on the execution side, but most of it I've loved. Anthony Starr has now wrapped all of his scenes, is officially done as Homelander. He's such a good actor. I hope we see him in more big projects. We'll see. Sorry to ask, but who's your favorite cat? Can you choose between your darlings? Probably Mimi, aka Mama. She's our little orange one. She's the one we had before everybody else. Any of the other cats in the house, she was the first. After Pop-Tart passed, she was the first. She was the one we adopted formally after that. Jumba's always been around, but he just comes and goes. Like if we're talking who's been around the longest, Jumba and Pop-Tart were both here at the same time, but he is mostly he's a 95% outside cat, so I don't really count him. Mama is only inside, and She's a beautiful little orange darling. And then you got everybody else. It's pooling time. Catwoman. Elisa H. Just finished reacting to Wednesday and saw your videos. Very nice. Well, thank you. I'm glad you were able to finish it up. Hope you didn't have too many more issues with it after everything, but I wouldn't be surprised if you did. As a 28-year-old, I'm happy that Peacemaker Season 2 will be important to the future of DCU. I just feel bad for the kids who can't watch it. I don't think it's going to set things up. I don't think it's going to be integral. There's no way it's going to be integral. I don't think any one piece is going to be must-watch viewing, if that makes sense. Because they've talked about that at least. Game of Thrones pissed me off way before it did everybody else for one thing. Loras. He was dedicated heart and soul to Renly. Seeing him be a thought pissed me off. Fair enough. I don't give a shit enough about Loras in the book or in the show to have ever been concerned about that, though. But that's me. He's a good character, though. I do like him as a character, but I don't know. I guess because I did the show before the book, I might have just been a little more flexible on that. I always go visual before I go to read. Maybe the kids can watch a recap or something. Always an option. Peacemaker Season 2 might just reference stuff from Superman, like Lex created the new universe, and they'll explain it for people who haven't seen it yet. More than likely. Let's see, just me, watch it anyway. I've been thinking, every time I join your streams, I pretty much goon over every celebrity, but starting today, not anymore. I'm glad you've become self-aware, Dion. Because that is exactly what you do. You literally, like, just rattle off anybody, like, any female celebrity and just, like, goon. We'll see how long that lasts, though. The Real Hagyama. What's up? How are you? It was great seeing you react to Gravity Falls. Why did I say Falls? Falls. I'm again here with a recommendation. It was a masterpiece of my childhood, The Amazing World of Gumball. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Right now, my animation block has at least a clear-cut plan for what will be following Gravity Falls, at least. After that, though, it's probably up in the air a little bit more, so who knows? Maybe I'll react to Superman tomorrow. I'm behind on editing, though. If you fall behind, which do you prioritize, filming or editing? It really depends. It depends on what I'm recording and what I'm editing. If what I'm editing is the thing I know is going to get the bigger views, I focus on that. If I need to get something else more that I know is going to be more important than smaller videos, I will focus on that. That's all I prioritize. Which thing is going to be the bigger thing to put out? And Lily here with another one of her signature bombshells. How are you this weekend? How's everybody doing? Also, are you going to see K-pop Demon Hunters in theaters? I heard about tickets for the 24th. I don't think it's in my area. I'm pretty sure it absolutely is. Never mind. I didn't think it was. I didn't even look because because they said it was such a limited run. I would assume it would not even come here. But even my small local theater has it. I figured I would have had to drive to Charleston or Huntington for it. But my local one has show times for it. A lot of show times for it. Holy shit. I honestly expected it not to come. I might. That feels like it would be kind of fun to go and expect people to sing. So it's the 23rd and 24th. I don't know, maybe. If I have the time and energy, it would be a fun thing to do. But I've just not been going to the theaters, man. It's also just gotten so damn expensive. But thank you again for the super chat. Let's see. I'm very happy that I don't have to dodge spoilers for F4 anymore. I still haven't really seen any, which is surprising. Like I've been low effort dodging anything for it, and I just haven't seen anything. Peacemaker would be the last show I would expect to explore the multiverse. Well, it's because the first season starts off in one universe, and the second season they're in a new universe. So that's one way to do it. That's what I've heard, at least. Can't wait for Peacemaker season 2. It's mostly, I think the vehicle to do that is the interdimensional pocket dimension he uses to store all of his equipment that he got from his dad that they set up in season 1. Because at least in the first trailer, he meets another version of himself through a glitch in that? I don't know. It was through that closet door, so I don't know. Lanterns could explore the multiverse too. I doubt it will. It's a murder mystery. I highly doubt it's going to be multiversal. And I think as far as explore the multiverse, I literally think it'll only just to be to get to Peacemaker into the DCU. Gavin Bra said, not anymore. Can't wait to see my vigilante. God damn it, Omni, every time you hit me with a dearly beloved in the background, I get gut checked by nostalgia. You're welcome. It doesn't happen that often, but when it does, you feel it. Have you seen the new Spider-Man Brand New Day news lately? I've been keeping up with a lot of it, because it's all over my fucking feed. Now that's something I have not been able to avoid. Again, I haven't really been trying to avoid it, but yeah, I've seen a lot of stuff for it so far. I like Vigilante's costume. I see Marvel being there next year or 2027 to hype up Secret Wars. Maybe, possibly, or they'll stick to D23, who knows. His name is funny, it's barely a code name. Hope it's not nearly that long to wait, Jesus. I wonder when they will announce more of the Avengers Doomsday cast. Apparently on the 27th, from what they've said earlier. Any Demon Slayer fans here? If so, are you excited for Infinity Castle Part 1? I saw the first 13 minutes of Infinity Castle, and it looked fucking insane, and I've never seen anything for Demon Slayer. Which may need to change, because I liked what I saw. Who's my favorite character in Gravity Falls from where I am now? Dipper. Definitely Dipper so far. Superman was my favorite superhero movie this year. How many have there even been total this year so far? Cap 4, Superman, Fantastic Four? Is that it's just the 3, right? Or is there Thunderbolts? Is there anyone missing? It's probably my favorite too, out of all of those. It's wild to feel like Cap 4 came out this year, because it really feels like it didn't. Feels like it was way longer than just this year. Also have a new potential solution for your KOTOR 2 issue. Change the refresh rate of your monitor to 60, since certain older games can't handle being run on a 120 hertz monitor for some reason. I think no, you're right. Mine is currently on 120. That may help. I don't know if it was when I tried it though, but I'll give that another go and see if that helps at all. Do I like watermelon? It's fine. It's definitely not my go-to fruit, but I'm okay with it. Saw Rebirth kind of mid, but I liked it. I also enjoyed Fantastic Four and Thunderbolts. I listened to the beginning and end of every video of yours I watch. Thank you. Thank you. Moscow is going to start V9 of Ruby before Omni dips a toe in. Hey. So? What does that have to do with anything? That could be true of anything. They've all done Gravity Falls before I ever started. Yup, see, I did that too. You know what? They've done She-Ra, blah, 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 Power, whatever the fuck. And you know what? Nowhere near that. You know what? We can do this all day, Vince. You don't have to make it about Ruby. Love Gravity Falls, Amphibia, and Owl House. Well, we'll get to them eventually. I'm loving Gravity Falls so far right now, and especially since the creator is a confirmed fan of X-Files, and the show was inspired by the X-Files, and even in the first episode referenced the X-Files. It already boosts it up insanely high on my on my love meter. So I'm gonna be seeing if I can find any more X-Files clues sprinkled throughout. Also stumbled across a post of Alex Hirsch's where he was like, he even like made a comment. It was like, why does my girlfriend look exactly like Dana Scully? And I was like, this guy, he gets it. Superman is definitely my favorite James Gunn project now. Very funny, very emotional, very fun, and scary. I don't know if I would put it at my favorite James Gunn project, but who knows? We'll have to let time sink in a little bit. Let's get away from it a little bit. I also want to see it again. I've still only seen it the one time. They're splitting Stranger Things into 3 parts, which is odd to me, but hey, it prolongs the experience, and I'm excited. You know, usually they do that so that it releases in 2 subscription blocks, right? So you have to pay for 1 month and then the other. Each of those, 2 of those parts come out in the same month, which is, I think, is kind of interesting. Well, no, it's not. Never mind. Rethinking that. Part 3 comes out New Year's Day. So they're getting you right at the tail end, so you got to pay for January on that transition. So never mind. They are getting 3-month subscriptions out of you, because November, December, and then literally Jan 1st. How's peak shows for all ages, in my opinion. I agree so far. Can't wait to see Peacemaker again, especially Rick Flag Sr. again. I don't know if this is true or not. I heard that Rick Flag Jr. might be making an appearance, which would be interesting. I mean, if it's another universe, if he hops universes, maybe he never died. I don't know. What's the difference between a poorly dressed man on a tricycle and a well-dressed man on a bicycle? Attire. Brody, that was terrible, and I love it. Aw shit, sorry about that, but I'm happy you know about it. Looking forward to your amphibia reactions then. Cheers. All good, cracking butt. All good. Just cracking your ribs? What's the word? Anyway, whatever. Just giving you a hard time. Might as well just wait until next month to watch Wednesday Season 2 because I can binge the whole season. Probably better to do that. Am I going to be reacting to Mission Zero the day it releases on Prime or wait till it releases on YouTube? I will be reacting to it the day it releases on Prime. There's no way in hell I'm waiting 45 days to watch it on YouTube. So it's been great. Not ready for Stranger Things to end. Oh boy, Wendy is awesome. You know who she's voiced by, right? No. Linda Cardellini. Yo, okay. Hell yeah. Oh, Velma. God damn. Anyway, sorry. Turned into Dion for a second. By episode 4 of season 2 of Wednesday, I may have developed a thing for Tyler. Damn it! Yeah, I saw your comment on one of the videos or whatever, and I'm like, nope, there she goes. She's lost to another one. I thought that was hilarious. Definitely cracked me up a little bit. Let's see. How do you feel about Little Gideon? And were you surprised when he had book 2? We'll talk about it when we get to it. We'll talk about it when we get to it. Y'all can wait it out. And we'll talk about it when the video comes out. How are you feeling about Sue so far? He's a interesting off-the-cuff character, and he's got the wildest comments on every situation so far. And I don't know why, but he looks like a human version of Rufus the Mole Rat. Would Deadpool fit in with Doomsday? I mean, apparently. I guess. I mean, it's going to, in some way, shape or form at least. I also see there might be another Game of Thrones show in development about Aegon's conquest. He was the person who made the Iron Throne and created the King's Landing. Yeah, that I know. That would be interesting. And I know they're trying to figure it out. I kind of want something after, so that I could at least maybe have something that makes the ending of the main season feel worth it in the end. I was really looking forward to that Jon Snow show that they were trying to get off the ground, and then it just fell through. Because I felt like if anything had the potential to save the main series, would have been something set after and with Jon. Nintendo has entered the chat. Studio Ghibli is a no-go on YouTube. It's doable. It's just it's dangerous. It's very dangerous. I feel like the worst we have stateside is Lionsgate getting a bug up their ass. Worst we have is Paramount and Universal. Or no, that's basically the two. CBS is under Paramount, so Netflix is getting really stingy here lately too for some reason. I know it's been 6 months, but I still haven't gotten used to Cobra Kai being over. Also, the writers are jerks for giving us Zara for only 10 episodes because of skills. Duh. I mean, hey, just follow her any of her accounts online, because there's plenty of real life Zara to go around. She's a fucking badass. In regards to what's going on in New York during Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode 19, is Iron Man, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and Wong are fighting Ebony Maw and Big Muscle Guy. Yeah, that's been addressed. I mean, that was even addressed in the, if you're talking about the reaction where we just watched it. I mean, I addressed that in the discussion part because I think somebody made one of the user comments that I read off in that episode explained it. But I appreciate that. Saw a rumor that there's another chair reveal on the 27th coming this month. Yeah, that's what someone was saying earlier. When do you think we could get a Mando and Grogu trailer? I have no idea, man. No idea. Did you see the picture of Soldier Boy's suit for the new prequel show called Vought Rising? Yeah, I saw the Soldier Boy suit and then some of the other 3 suits that are also going to be in the show. Looks very of the period. His shirt's a little interesting, but I don't know. We'll see. Miss Grant Gustin as Flash. Me too, man. Me too. I miss the highs of the Arrowverse every day, I think. Why do only I have purple ground? Is there a setting I can turn off that everyone else has? It's because you've commented more? What's our top right now? It's definitely Lily again, because the super chat is automatically going to make her #1 for the entire stream. But it's you and Christian are top dogs right now. You've got the same XP score, but for whatever reason, it decided to make you #2. But you can opt out so that you don't participate. It's in your settings. I can't turn this feature off. That was the confusion that we all had. When we were like, oh, this says you can turn it off, and you guys were trying to help me turn it off. I can't turn this off. Only the users can turn off whether they participate in this feature. So if you don't want your name popping up on the leaderboard, if you don't want to get XP, if you don't want to be a top fan, if you don't want the crown, you can opt out of it in your settings. I wish I could just straight up turn it off for everybody, but apparently I can't. Have I seen F1 yet? F1? No. F4? Also no. Like I mentioned earlier, the last time I was at the theater was for Superman, and the last time I was at the theater before that was for Cap 4. Those are the only 2 times I've been to the theater this year. Liking Alien Earth so far. I agree with you though, episode 2 was a bit messy. Yeah, some people acted like I straight up hated the show just because I found some bits of it cringy or some bits of it didn't work. I feel like some people were just are a little delusional in some way, or just simply it's weird because like sometimes you can like all of a thing, but the moment you have a criticism, you suddenly just, some people just think a criticism means that it just discounts everything. But like yeah, I don't know. So people like got really up in arms about my reaction to the first 2 episodes of the show. Did you see that Gunn said that he's not allowing his publicist to see episodes 6 and 8 of season 2? Something big must happen in those episodes. Yeah, he said those are the episodes that contain the biggest spoilers, and he doesn't want those to get out, and they're the episodes he's the most proud of. So I'm excited to get to that point, because I think episodes 1 through 5 are the only episodes that were sent out for early access for people who got to screen it before it comes out. I think only episodes 1 through 5 went out as well. So the last 3 episodes must be bananas. That's the new Jurassic Park franchise in a nutshell. Good ideas, good moments, and you can see it, but god damn it, they committed to the wrong characters and the wrong stories. Fair enough. What movie or TV show in history would you like to see in cartoon form? An animated X-Files would be pretty interesting. Shocker. But not like, I don't know, like what stylization? Something a little more like serious, akin to like maybe, I don't know, what would be a good comparison to it? Like almost like in the stylings of a heavier anime like Cowboy Bebop or Dark or Death Note, something like that. I think could work pretty well. Just nothing like overly bubbly or goofy like most American animation. I don't know. I'd love to see something like that continued on in that way, if especially considering Jillian and David are getting older, and also she just doesn't want to be involved, so whatever, fuck it. What about movie though? I was gonna say Scott Pilgrim, but then we got the anime sequel. I don't know. Movie. And here I go. Well, that's already been done. We got the Animatrix. I don't know. I'm gonna go with X-Files just as a default, because you said or, so I'm not gonna do both. Yay. My pop-up tab just crashed. There we go. Let me fix that. Fix that. And there we go. This is rumors, so I still don't know if it's true or not, but there's supposed to be a Rita or Zed skin coming to Fortnite next month. There's a mythic where you can transform into the Megazord, and they'll be adding Blade Blaster in the middle of Season 2. I've heard that there's like support characters and stuff, and there's speculation Rita might be one of those, but I got all the Power Rangers and I got all the presets added and all that kind of stuff on my account, so I'm pretty content at the moment as far as that goes. Like maybe Barry Allen appears in Peacemaker Season 2. Wouldn't that be insane? Let's see. Will there be adding? What would you sell your soul for? Probably absolutely nothing. I'd like to hang on to my soul. Thank you. Very wrong. I don't know that there's anything that I can think of off the top of my head that I would sell my soul for. Since I have been feeling meh, I have been watching Comfort TV. Disney Smart Guy, Boy Meets World. Saw an episode that's So Raven for the first time. Really? First time for That's So Raven. I loved That's So Raven growing up. It was a little bit later in life, so it was about when I was kind of falling off of that sort of thing. Watched a shit ton of Boy Meets World as a kid. Dude, Feeney and Will Friedle, why am I blanking on his character? The older brother. They were my 2 favorite things about in the show. Honestly, my hands down my favorite aspects of the show were those 2. What happened to Assassin's Creed Over the Tears? I have no idea what you're talking about. Assassin's Creed Over the Tears? I have no idea what you mean, personally. So I have no idea. What did happen to it? Tell me. For this new DC universe, I'm kind of curious if we're getting a new actress for Harley Quinn or if Margot Robbie would come back. What would you prefer? I almost am 100% confident we're going to get somebody new. Loras in Game of Thrones went on to become Iron Fist after, so he's fine. Fair enough. The thing about Peacemaker is I can never see him coming. Bah, bah. Brody again with the jokes. Okay, I'm back. One of my favorite lines from episode 3 of Wednesday is definitely, I'm late for a funeral, but if you're here when I get back, I'll be early for another one. Yeah, that was a good one too. What did happen to Assassin's Creed? I mean, the one came out and I've heard absolutely... All the buzz was before the game came out, and then it came out and I've heard nobody talk about it. Recently watched reactions to Ruby and made me think that you reacted to it would be amazing. Could Peacemaker Season 2 start with a previously on Superman? Maybe. Who knows? What's up, Ronan? Long time no talk. How you doing? How you doing this morning? Well, afternoon. Well, yeah, no, it's still afternoon even for you. Let's see. Goonin' to the moon. Hashtag we're all horny. Sometimes. Have you had any time to read the Sandman books? Curious if you feel about them after finishing the show. I haven't yet. I haven't cracked into it just yet. Whereas when I finished season 1, I immediately read everything from season 1. I think the week I got the books, I did. I have not sat down and read any of them further just yet. I've been like almost non-stop working as of late. I work almost 24/7. The only times I'm not is when I'm sleeping, eating, or using the bathroom. Most of the time is what it feels like. Or just, you know, there's some moments where I'm literally just trying to empty my brain out, and then I just lose myself in those small little gaps and then forget to really enjoy much of anything in the interim. It's just a mental purge. Lily, Jesus. If you could put your brain into a computer or something like Futurama where your head is stored in some eternal living jar, would you? If you could attach that to another body or put my brain in a body that I could walk around and do stuff maybe, but if I'm just like stuck sitting somewhere, it better be somewhere interesting or where I could at least watch stuff or play things with my brain, something where I could do something. Do you think that Marvel is back or what? I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't call it back yet, but maybe coming back would be maybe a better descriptor. I'm seeing the new Stephen King movie in theaters, The Long Walk. Already bought the book. Nice. I've heard good things about it. I don't know jack all about it. I know they had a panel at SDCC and some of my crew went to that panel while I was going to another one, so I don't really know anything about it. Saw something about there being a K-pop Demon Hunter sing-along drag show in Texas. Oh, that sounds like that'd be a damn good time. That'd be interesting. What's up, Colleen? Super busy, so I'm curious if you've ever fallen asleep while reacting. Thankfully, no. I have definitely never fallen asleep during reacting. I've been close to maybe before starting something. Needed a jolt of coffee. The thing about it is once I start to, I mean, I've gotten like exhausted mid-reaction sometimes before. I do my best not to let it really affect it. But like a lot of the times I might be real tired before I start, but like sometimes like once you start to get into it, once you start recording, it might take a little bit to get there. Maybe my intro might be a little sloggy. Maybe I might not be as like there might not be a lot of excitement in my voice or anything like that, but like usually once I get into the show, into the movie, just the process of being sucked into it can give me at least enough energy to make it to the end. Or sometimes it will bring me a second win. So I've never fallen asleep while reacting. Thankfully, no. That would be hilarious and unfortunate if that ever happened. You think Supergirl movie will be about her outgrowing being a party girl and becoming the hero she's destined to be? It'll be something ish like that. If you know anything about Woman of Tomorrow, that comic or whatever, it's hard to say, because her outgrowing being a party girl is a misunderstanding of why she's partying to begin with, I feel like. Because she's not partying because she's ignoring anything, she's trying to run away, she's ignoring responsibilities, or she's irresponsible, or just having fun. Unlike Clark, she remembers that world, and she's a broken person as a result. The alcohol and the partying is a cry for help for her to drown out all of the darkness she's carrying around. It's literally a reaction to her depression. So it's a coping mechanism. It might be about her no longer needing to do that. I don't want to talk. I mean, who knows? Who knows what they're going to do? But that's at least the understanding I have of it from that storyline. Like, she's not just like a teenage girl or a young adult running around just to party for the sake of partying. What are your thoughts on K-pop Demon Hunters live action movie? No, never, don't, stop. We don't do it. Don't, stop it. I'm glad that they shot that down. They said that is not something they are actively considering at all after that rumor started running around, which is good. Stop it. Don't. We don't need it. How do you feel about Assassin's Creed over a year? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. The only Assassin's Creed game I've played to completion is the very first game. None others. I like the idea, I like the concept. I think after the first game, or the trilogy, it was kind of ridiculous to keep going. Ghost Blade, what's up, man? I'm doing good. Also, just to hurt your brain, you're so adamant about thinking Robin couldn't do what she did, but you gotta remember, she started with the Baroque works. It's that instinct to survive. No, I'm right. I'm still right. Like, I'm ahead of whatever you're talking about. I'm already like, I'm already part where she reveals why she did what she did. And I feel like this statement is counter to that. And I'm right. I was right in the end. So yeah. I don't know what you're trying to say, but like in the end, whatever I thought, I was right in the end. So I'm gonna find about she did it. Everything she did was to save everybody, was for their protection. So I was right in the end. I'm gonna end it there. I don't know what we're talking about, because I feel like either we're talking about different things, or I don't know. For Pirates of the Caribbean movie, knowing a 6th movie is in the works, would you rather this movie have a new gang of pirates or continue off with Will's character? I don't know, man. Make it about his fucking kid or something if we're gonna do that. I do want it to continue off with some semblance of DNA of the originals. I would not want an entirely new cast, is what I will tell you. Ghostblade, damn it, I thought I could make you question yourself and fill you with doubt to mess with you. I failed horribly. You did indeed. 'Cause joke's on you. I'm 4 weeks ahead on Patreon. I'm on episode, what was the last episode I watched? 251. 251 is the last episode I watched. I truly don't think we'll explore the multiverse fully in the DCU until they establish more universes. So Gunn said there's at least 100 universes in the DCU's multiverse. Apparently is a quote. That was an SDCC quote. And we will see a little bit of it in Peacemaker. Once we get past Secret Wars, I could... Another slate reel for Mutant Saga face it. I mean, I think that's going to be the intention, is for the Mutant Saga or something similar to be the next thing there. Which feels like such a step down from everything else, but fuck it. It is a reset after all. Hola, happy Saturday. Thank you. Summer, welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a good Saturday yourself. I've never seen a full episode of Stranger Things, and never will, because the final season will be way too long. So I'll just watch the show clips again and your reactions. Dude, you should just fucking watch it. Like, it's not longer than some other shit out there, man. It's not One Piece. It's not most TV shows. It's still shorter than most TV shows. Like entire runs and all that. It's definitely worth the watch. I was kind of where you were at before I actually started it. It has easily become one of my favorite things of all time. I hope we get a third Doctor Strange movie before Doomsday comes out, especially where we left off with him and Clea. If we don't get another one, at least it's got to be referenced, right? Everyone calls me clinically insane because I'm against Demon Slayer, because one plot point contradicts the entire setup for the pilot. Hey man, sometimes that fucking happens, dude. My initial reaction to it was like, I just didn't like any of the character designs when I first saw them. That was the main thing that turned me off. I just didn't like the art style, or at least the art direction of it. So I just never really dove into it at all. Okay, but do you like cookout watermelon shakes? That sounds disgusting. So no. Next year, there will be 4 superhero movies, as well as Supergirl, Avengers Doomsday, Clayface, and Spider-Man Brand New Day. Oh, we're going to be eating pretty good there. That's an exciting little lineup. What's up, Electra Bolt? Really excited for you getting into Amphibias. It's one of my favorite animated series ever created. Hell yes. I always hate Superman because he was overpowered, but after seeing My Adventures with Superman, I like him now. I used to be that way, and then the older I got, I no longer feel that way, because now I understand why that's important. It's important for him to be overpowered sometimes, but that's not where his interest comes from. His interest comes from how he uses it and the struggle he has of not using it at times, and how the morality, his ethics, his point of view, that's really where he struggles, is against a world that doesn't think the way he does. That's what and in the world we live in today, I appreciate that way more than I ever did as a kid. I used to be like, the old Batman, yeah, fuck Superman. Superman's lame, Superman's boring, and, you know, all that crap. And then the older I've gotten, the more I've flipped on that. I still like Batman, but he's lost a lot of legging in my pantheon over the years. That cynicism, I still love it. I just think I'm tired of it. I'm so tired of it. So Superman has been, I don't still think I'd put Superman above him in that way, because I do have so much of a longevity of my love for Batman, but like, I just appreciate Superman's stories so much more now. I love My Adventures with Superman, and I think that's another thing that James Gunn did really well with Superman as well, is because we at least see him like struggle physically in it too. I don't think you need to do that though, because there's interesting ways to tell that story with him being overpowered. At the end of the day though, even when he's underpowered, it's literally just because he's still holding back. Superman literally is insane. But the only limits to his power is himself, which is the crazy part. Have they confirmed a sequel to Shang-Chi? I don't think so. Mando Grogu is kind of superhero-ish, but not really. I wouldn't count it. I will always make it about Ruby. Did you ever watch Beast Wars Transformers? Yes, that was my favorite Transformers thing. I didn't really get into the cars or the original show or anything like that at all. Beast Wars was the show I was really into. I think that could be a fun reaction regardless, since there's no real reactions to it on YouTube. I've already seen all of it from Beast Wars to Beast Machine, so it would be a rewatch if anything. Captain America: The First Avenger is so underrated. I think it's a fantastic fucking movie. I love the first one so much. Could you see them delaying Avengers Doomsday again? I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if they did. Yep. Ruby reactions? Has there been any updates on the X-Files reboot from Ryan Coogler? Nothing like nothing substantial yet. We did say after Sinners that was going to be the next major project that he worked on, so who knows? James Gunn is what the Russos think they are. Honestly, didn't see Spider-Man appearing in Doomsday because Tom Holland is currently filming Spider-Man in his Odyssey, I think, too, right? He'll be in Secret Wars for sure, though. Hey, we'll just have to wait and see. What is a word you constantly misspell or mispronounce? I don't know. I really don't know. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, to be honest. Let's see. Omni, I wanted to give you a heads up in case you weren't aware. Wednesday Season 2 Part 2 trailer dropped recently, but I advise not watching it because it ruins a huge surprise for the story. I don't watch mid-season stuff. I don't do it. I don't. You can break it up into parts all you want. It's a mid-season trailer. I'm not watching it. I don't watch Next Time On. I don't watch mid-season trailers. I don't do it for that reason. I don't want to know. I'll maybe watch the trailers before the show starts, before the season starts, and that's where it ends. So yeah, I'm definitely not going to look. I don't want to look. Let's see. Yes, I hope we see Rick Flag Jr. again. Really missed that character. It's a fair game. Flashback or multiverse? Who knows? I have no idea. Why has Rick Flag Sr. got white hair in Creature Commandos, but black in Superman? Stylization. It's just a style choice. His hair is like not black in Superman. It's kind of graying, so it's just kind of exaggerated in Creature Commandos is what I would say. So Batman. Oh, Sheldor's back on the main account now. Got a new keyboard. Nice. How to feel about Stan Pines? He is a wacky, insane con artist, and I kind of love it. Fun fact, I went to school with Mayhem from 2nd to 3rd grade. Oh, that's kind of wild. That's cool. I've never gone to school with anybody famous. I know people that have gone to school with famous people. Closest thing I've got is I know a buddy of mine who went to church with Jennifer Garner. Because, you know, she grew up down the road in Charleston, so she still comes to visit every now and then. Let's see. Been playing some Red Dead Redemption. I still need to finish that game too. What do sprinters eat before they race? Nothing. They fast. That was good. Would much rather have an Arya show of her travels throughout the world. If I had to pick, I would watch that show, but if it wouldn't be able to do what I needed to do. John's stuff and exploring the North, like everything up above and beyond the wall, that's the only thing that I think could make any of what they did wrong in season 8 better. Have I seen Card Captors? The American name was because they were afraid Card Captor Sakura would be off-putting to young boys. I've seen bits, but I never really watched a lot of it, no. I watched a lot of Sailor Moon, but I never watched Card Captors, though. Oh, fuck. I forgot about Paramount somehow. The Dilemma. I'm out selling my old books, and it looks like I'll get more for store credit, but I'm actually using the library more and buying books less. Decisions. Fair enough. Given the library's a means to stay open. Don't know if someone asked you this yet, but What do you think about the Wednesday second part trailer? Well, I guess I just answered that one just a second ago. I don't watch it. Cobra Kai is my favorite anime. Cobra Kai is such an anime. So is Rocky, as I've said before. Both of them have anime in their DNA. Can't help it, I keep falling for fictional characters. It's okay. We all do it. We all do it. What's my thoughts on Deke? I've given my thoughts on Deke extensively. Sean, if you've watched my videos, I love him to death and I want to protect him with all of my soul. Last one of the day, getting hungry, but how do you feel about Gravity Falls so far? I'm loving it. Again, I love the Twin Peaks X-Files combo that they got going on and the shenanigans that they're getting themselves into. I'm really, really enjoying it so far. And I've heard it's one of those definitely like those things that get better and better as it goes along, and I'm excited to see how it grows. Yeah, Paramount, I want to do Star Trek Strange New World, but I might leave it Patreon exclusive because I hear copyright is a battle. Paramount they are absolutely assholes. Like, they were a pain in the ass to get around and deal with for Halo, because that's the only Paramount thing I've covered. And you know, any of the Nickelodeon stuff that they cover and all that kind of stuff is a bitch. So like that whole territory is also the people that make it difficult for Avatar reactions, anything of the sort. Yeah, they abuse the fuck out of everything. So I would not be surprised that going that route is just probably the one that's going to save you the less stress. Going to con in a couple months. I'm going to officially meet Jeff Ward and the live action Mihawk, and Quan, Axel, Devin, and Kenny from Cobra Kai are going to be there as well. Oh, that's awesome. I haven't met any of them yet. I still need to meet them. I haven't seen them yet before. Mihawk, the guy that plays Mihawk, he's been at a couple of cons I've been to, but I've never really gone up to his table. Jeff Ward, though, I'm going to have to. He was meant to go. He's been at one or two where I was there, but I wasn't really aware of who he was at the time while I was there. Obviously, I knew he was buggy, but I didn't really go out of my way to go talk to him. Now I definitely want to go talk to him if I ever get a chance. Watching the MCU and Arrowverse were some of the nicest years. Yes, they were. Honey, you should see me in a crown. User. I don't even understand what XP does like. It resets every live, doesn't get you anything on YouTube as a whole. As far as I understand, it seems pointless. It's just to get... My understanding is that it's literally just to encourage people to interact more in the stream to try to get a crown. So it's basically trying to encourage everybody to chat and earn that spot. So you're kind of competing to see who's the top fan, therefore getting me more engagement and more interactions and stuff. But realistically, that would just keep me here all day if I'm trying to read everything. Glamifying engagement is trying for the crown. Yeah, there we go. Gamifying it. There you go. That was a way simpler way to describe it. Oh, I follow Reyna/Zara, and yeah, she's a badass. Me too. Let's see. Because after Endgame, we were some good movies and shows. Did you not realize the slightest criticism akin to a moral, personal attack on other people who enjoyed it? Yeah, I don't get it, man. I try to find the good and bad in everything I watch. And sometimes just because, hell, even just because I enjoy the shit out of something doesn't mean I can't recognize it's got flaws and stuff. So it's just, I don't know, man. It's just ridiculous. Like, I saw somebody say that I went into the show being too cynical and looking for laughs. Like, come on. Try harder. I hope Avengers Doomsday movie script is good. My fear is that it'll be full of nostalgia and cameos, get the audience hyped. I just hope it'll be good. We'll have to see. Episode 6 begins with a multiversal rap battle with Green Arrow and Peacemaker. Wouldn't that be something? Animated Game of Thrones in anime form. It depends on the style they went with, because that recent anime Lord of the Rings movie that came out in theaters and bombed horribly, it looked like ass. I saw some people saying, I mean, I didn't think it looked good. I did not like the style. I thought the animation was sluggish and eh. And it didn't feel like Lord of the Rings to me. I did not like it. Well, I mean, I didn't like the look of it. I never saw the movie, but I thought the animation did not fit the world at all. So it really just depends how they go about it. And I think you can do it, but not the way they did it. Not in my book, at least. I actually quite like the new Jurassic World film. I've seen people complain about the D-Rex barely being in it, but that's what Garth Edwards is known for when he directs a monster movie. Bit monster antagonist that barely appears in the film. Still never seen it. Omni wanted to see more X-Files. That as much of a shocker as Anel. Yes, but just like Anel, my dreams will just fly away into the moon. Let's see. Love an animated Walking Dead. That I'd be on there for too. Like one that, like an animated Walking Dead in which you just bring back everybody just to do some voiceovers for the characters instead. You can bring back the same cast, have them voice the characters or whatever, and then just adapt the fucking comic the whole way through without any of your dumbass changes. I think it would have to be either a full tilt silly like the Men in Black cartoon, or I think it would look cool in Sony animation style. That's not rotoscope, but so close. True. Dude, I used to watch the shit out of that Men in Black cartoon. Guys, I think Omni likes the X-Files. I'm glad you're watching Gravity Falls. I love that show. How's the week been? Week's been pretty good so far. Just ready for a little bit of a breather here. But I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon. X-Files is indeed cute. Power to control any element. What would you choose? Fire. Fire. All day, every day. Fire. Oh, Omni, the date of the stream title is wrong. It says yesterday. Does it? Oops. Well, now it is fixed. The hell? There we go. All right. Omni Media, you're the best YouTuber. I love you. Aw, thank you. I appreciate the sentiment. And I love you all too. X-Files is great. Yes, it is. You said X-Files animated, and I saw it in my mind as the style of Ghostbusters cartoon back in the day. I mean, that could work. That could work a little bit. X-Files is fire. What's the beautiful song in the background? What track are we on at the moment? Oh, apparently we've moved on to Nier Automata. Oh, we moved on a lot. How did we go from YouTube? You suck so hard. How do I go from a loop to what? I hate this. It ignores the fact that I loop a thing so frequently. Do you think Punisher will reference Daredevil at all in Spider-Man 4? I mean, I'm not going to say anything because I don't know. There's so many rumors about Spider-Man 4 and I don't know which ones are legitimate and which ones are not. But, there might be more than a reference in Spider-Man 4 from what I've heard. Would you consider yourself the GOAT? No. I'd sell my soul to meet Omni in real life. You probably don't have to do that. Just find me at a convention one of these days. Will we ever see Devin, Jake, and Lexi again? If not, that ending is even more effed up. I'm sure eventually. I mean, there is another Chucky project in the works, so I would have to imagine we'll get some answers someday. Do you think Kingdom Hearts should have an animated series? I'd watch it, but I don't. Like, only if it was like a side story, not like an adaptation of everything else. Like if it was like, maybe where Missing Link got canceled, they shut that game down and they're not developing it anymore. Turn that story into an animated show, an animated movie. Tell that tale. And yeah, I don't know. Or like if there was like an animated adaptation. I don't want like an adaptation of like Sora, Riku, the games, the main games and stuff like that. Maybe like of Dark Road, of Union Cross, of Missing Link. Like that stuff I think that would work. If I had water bending, I would be like a firefighter. If I had earth bending, I would make a sick ground castle. If I had air, I would fly and run fast. Like Aang, if I have fire, I'm evil. I miss the OG Teen Titans. The intro had no business going that hard. Yeah, Puffy Yumi? Hell yeah, dude. Now, the finale of Boy Meets World, when Feeny touches the desk and softly says, "Class dismissed." Ah, dude, I can't. I saw that clip the other day on like a highlight reel of Feeny clips, and I was just like, God damn it. Also, who was the one doing the Pokemon rewatch? I think it was, I can't remember. I can't remember if it was Ginger or somebody else. I'm sorry. No offense to anybody. But memory slides away like it does. I know somebody was on a Pokemon binge, and I can't remember who it was. Michael Bay is returning to Transformers. I think I'm scared. I saw that news, and I also was like, God damn it, why? Yes, it was Ginger. So I haven't done a rewatch or anything like that, but I finally watched the championship clip. I haven't watched the whole episode or even the whole journey or anything like that, but I did watch the full final fight between Leon and Ash, dude, and I was fucking, it made me tear up so hard. The nostalgia hits so fucking hard. I'd love to see a third season of Daredevil Born Again, to be honest. We haven't seen a second season of Daredevil Born Again yet. Getting ahead of yourself. Hope TikTok never goes away because it has funny videos on there. I mean, you might have to cancel all your streams in October because you might be busy with Ghost of Yote if you plan on getting it on release. I'll have to figure something out because I do want to play it. My job at the moment is outside and there's not a lot to do, so I just chill. Is it me or do they show way too many ads before a movie? Because damn, I felt like I could watch a Disney movie in that time. Sometimes, yeah. There was one time I sat down and it was like 45 minutes of ads and trailers before the actual movie started. Clean the park and stuff. Tron, Ares, Doomsday, Peacemaker, Spider-Man, Supergirl, Batman 2, Clayface, Secret Wars. Long Walk is basically like Hunger Games. It's about kids who enter into an annual contest where they must walk without stopping. If they stop after 3 warnings, they die. That's crazy. Interesting. Maybe we'll be explaining the first 4 episodes and I missed it, but why do the birds in Wednesday Season 2 have half their face burnt and a fucked up eye? Only one of the crows has the burnt face and a fucked up eye. I never really saw it on any of the other ones, and we have not got an explanation for that yet. Omni falling asleep mid-reaction is still posted. It would be up there with Jacksepticeye forgetting to edit out a pee break in the first Undertale video he put up. That's funny. Arcanine or Blaziken? Arcanine. Supergirl Trauma. Do you think Netflix should stop releasing shows or stop splitting things into 2 parts? I understand why they do it. I would like them to, if they're going to break it into parts, if they want to rack more money out of this shit, just start fucking releasing episodes weekly, damn it. You're part of the way there already. Just stop. Hell, with some shows, that might get you into 3 months without having to do parts. I fell asleep in a reaction once. Learning experience. Oh god, what were you watching? Supergirl's a party girl the same way that Jessica Jones is, but not the same reason. True. Very true. Yeah, me too. When the original Pokemon theme kicks in and fucking Pikachu lights up. Dude, I can't tell you. I felt it in my soul. Holy shit. I was just like, let's go! Fuck him up! That might be one of the hypest moments in the entire series right there. And I haven't seen most of it at this point. I was wondering for a while, but during recording while the show or movie is playing, do you still hear it when you're talking or sharing your thoughts? It depends, because in more recent reactions, I've started pausing things. So I've started to pause. Otherwise, like if you're talking most of my older stuff, because that's only been really recently. What was the first thing I really started doing that with? Wednesday is doing that. Gravity Falls, I'm doing that. Started doing it in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and all that kind of crap. What was the first thing I really started doing that in? I can't remember. Dead Boy? Some of the movie reactions. K-Pop Demon Hunters was the first time I ever experimented with doing that. But, I mean, even with my headphones, these things have noise cancellation, and they're pretty well concealed. And sometimes even if the video, if I silence the audio I'm recording of the show and the movie itself, you can still hear the audio bleeding out of my headphones into the microphone. That's how loud it is. So that's probably why it sounds like I'm always yelling at the top of my voice, is because of how loud my headphones are. So most of the time, even if I'm talking, I still hear almost every damn thing. I very rarely miss something even when I'm talking over something. Because you'll hear me stop and pivot my discussion on a dime because of something I just heard. Or stop because I just heard something important, you know. So I can almost always hear everything while I'm talking. But as of late, if I've got a lot to say, I've started pausing. Because I've changed a couple things on the back end. Thank you, Dale's Tales, for the super chat. Hello, Omni. Excited for Fifth Element on Patreon. Just wondering, have you watched Dexter? If so, then what are your thoughts? I've never watched Dexter. That's another one of those shows I've never got around to checking out. So currently, no thoughts. I think the premise is really interesting, but I've got nothing else but nothing else to really share on that one, unfortunately. But thank you so much for the super chat, and yes, we will be watching Fifth Element. I'll hopefully, if as after dinner tonight, I will record my reaction for the Fifth Element later tonight, assuming I don't lose all the energy I have at the moment. Where the fuck did I leave off here? There, there we go. All right, there we go. Show should just go back to weekly release. Let go of the binging experience. Yes. I wonder why Iron Fist Netflix show was so hated by people. Well, the first season was absolute ass. As far as like the way it was filmed, shot, prepared. Like it was fine. It wasn't god awful. It wasn't unwatchable, but it was very poorly put together. Season 2 was much, much better. Damn, I thought you could. It's interesting to see Loki in the movie. Avengers Doomsday being the god of time. What will Thor's relationship with Loki be? I don't know. I'm really interested to see, because he's still working on the assumption Loki's dead. And his Loki is dead. It is a different Loki, but I would love to see them have a face-to-face. So some Pedro thirst incoming. He is so freaking hot in F4. Susan is a lucky woman, because damn. He's always looking good, man. He's always looking good. And equally so, Susan always looking good. Didn't the director, Pirates of the Caribbean, recently say he thinks Johnny Depp could still come back for the next Pirates movie? Yes, that did get floated around. He did say that they've had talks about him returning. And it all depends on the script, is what's been said. By the way, after season 1 of Gravity Falls, released back in the day, there were Dipper shorts of him documenting. It was 6 episodes, 2 minutes long, and it's totally optional to watch if you want. Oh! Is it between seasons 1 and 2 or something like that? I have to try to remember that if so. I think I've replaced Dion with all my thirsting. Sorry, it's all good. It's a change of pace. Gabumon or Biyomon? Gabumon. At least 100 universes in the DCU. That's awesome. I thought there'd be infinite Earths. He said like that we know of. So I think that's just a give or take estimate. Or that we might see? I don't know. I don't know what that means. There's always going to be infinite, but I don't think that's a set number. I mean, even in the DC comics for a while, it did get reduced from infinite to 52. But I don't know. That's also subsequently been retconned. Gasps in Southern. So someone has to be thirsty in streams. This is a rule? Do I get an email when it's my turn? I think you all just decide. It just happens. The wind blows a certain way and somebody's going to be horny. There was a picture that was supposedly from the Russo's Insta stories, and the length of each episode for season 5 accumulates to about 23 hours. The last episode alone is just over 3 hours. It's still shorter than some shows, man. Doesn't matter. My point still stands. But I still don't know if that's going to be true, because they also said at least some of the episodes would be standard episode length for most TV shows. So, who knows? We'll have to wait and see. For the finale, I get it. Thirst knows no bounds for anyone. Used to be the same. I wasn't a fan of Superman until long ago. Is it weird that I find Silver Surfer and F4 hot? Not at all. Not at all. Speaking of plot holes, I feel like you have to allow a certain amount of hand-waving when a character's power is determined by the story and the moment. Like, for example, Millie goes from getting her ass beat by one human with a glass bottle, and then 2 episodes later, she's letting a giant monster fish open from the inside. Yeah, it's always going to be based on the story that they're telling, or what's best for the story, what's best for the moment, what's best for the drama or the humor or whatever. There's a certain level of inconsistency you kind of need to allow at sometimes, at some points. Hope we get a crisis event on Blackest Night until DCU establishes more of the lore and the characters within the world. Those stories can't work if we don't feel connected to the soups. Yes, which is where the Tomorrowverse, I think, absolutely failed. Which isn't a spoiler. She's in the trailer. Oh yeah, you're right. I feel like everybody should already know about that. They've been very upfront about Silver Surfer. So much so there was a whole drama online about it being the female Silver Surfer. Because people were like, oh no, they gender swapped Silver Surfer, not knowing that there actually is a woman Silver Surfer and that they are the second Silver Surfer. Like, God, people just showing their fucking, dropping their veil online yet again. Don't know which Superman is my favorite, either Tyler's portrayal on CW or David's portrayal. Right now, I'm still with David. Or, sorry, Tyler. Tyler's still my favorite at the moment. What's up, Albert? How are you doing? I'm doing good so far. Thank you. And sorry you're late. All good. I'll always have a special place in my heart and DVD collection for Superman and Lois. For how many human and dorky yet OP they made Superman and Lois. Oh yeah, 100%. I got the whole series on Blu-ray and I love it. Managed to binge Wednesday Part 2. Well, it's not out yet. You mean Season 2 Part 1? Have I seen the Homestuck and Helva Boss merch in Stylish Occult? The keychains. I have not. I mean, I don't know Homestuck. I've never partaken. I've never even known what it was. I've always heard of it, but I never knew what it was until recently. So I knew that they had crossover merch, but I haven't looked at any of it yet. If you had to assign Pokemon types to Agumon's main evolution line from Adventure 1, what would they be? I mean, it's pretty much fire most of the way through, and then I think by the time you get to Metal Greymon, I'd say Fire Steel. And even with War Greymon, I would say Fire Steel. I only like Luna and Stolas as keychains. I'll have to look into it later. Greymon could be Fire Ground, but I think Greymon doesn't really have a lot of ground moves. So I would still probably settle with Greymon as just being pure fire. There's been casting for the Buffy reboot or continuation. There has. I mean, they cast who Buffy, or not Buffy, it's not a Buffy, who the new Slayer was going to be a month or two ago. It's been a minute, but they've already announced who the new Slayer is. And it's the girl from Skeleton Crew, I think, if I remember right. Before I get into my thoughts on the show, I promise you I'm not kidding. When I clicked on the first episode and paused it, and my one wish was repaired that Enid wouldn't be tied to a romantic plot line. That was my one wish, and they couldn't help it, could they? I mean, obviously they were going to go that route. I mean, that feels like an obvious, of course she's going to be. I mean, she already was at the end of last season. And yeah, no, that was to be expected to be in my book there. And yes, you have to be willing, yes, to show and go forward with the plot, and it shouldn't be as plot hole things. Just don't take them so serious that way. Yes, I agree. The word may be broken, but I just got the tools fixed. Snick and Wolverine video game. I'm enjoying Twisted Metal Season 2. Hope there's a third season. I hope so. Well, I mean, it depends on how this season ends, but I would also love to see them continue expanding this world. I'm glad you're starting Gravity Falls, one of the greatest shows ever made. Carb captures my childhood along with Pokemon, of course. Hell yeah. What's up, Sleepy Lens? How are you? Been MIA for the last month, but I've been really enjoying your videos. I'm so happy to see you starting Gravity Falls finally. And how are the kitties? Kitties are all good. Kitties are all good. Rocky, as in the movies, has anime DNA. Never seen a Rocky movie. I never did until I reacted to them on the channel, and I absolutely fucking love them. But yes, I was talking about the Rocky movies. What's up, Kate? Hey, Cat Dad. Hope you're well, and the fur babies are good. Everybody's so far so good still, thankfully. Nothing terrible's happened yet. Checking my rankings, Gravity Falls is in my top 5 animated shows of all time and top 25 shows. Hell yeah. Biggest claim to fame is I kissed a girl who played Nicole Kidman's daughter at the end of Cold Mountain when we were kids. Interesting little fun fact. It's just a good out. Yeah. Laser tag or paintball? I've never gone paintballing, but I would hazard a try. But I have and do love me some laser tag. I always forget, when does Patreon pick movie come out? Whenever I can get it done. You normally, these last couple of months, I've been really failing at being able to keep up with things like I used to. But usually I would record the full-length reaction on the first day of the month, and then I would try to drop the reaction on YouTube by the middle of the month. And right now, it's already the middle of the month, and I haven't recorded the full length yet. So struggling is what I'm saying right now. Also back to Wednesday part 1, part 2, or part 2, part 1, season 2, part 1. First of all, before we get into the actual series, the whole splitting binge series is dumb. I agree. Finally, a crown boom! I've ever watched Dexter. Oh, I guess you got impatient and then super chatted. Still a fan despite the occasional lows. I think Netflix realized they dug themselves in a hole with the whole binge style release, but they were popular because of that. And weekly is a much better option for the network companies. It's also better for them to keep their subscriptions. I think YouTube ate my first comment, missed last week as part of a LARP. I hope you're doing well. Have you looked into Three Body Problem on Netflix? Is different from the novels, but a mind trip, really good. No. Yeah, I don't. It must have ate your comment because I didn't see anything else about this before. Let's see. But I'm aware of it. I watched the first trailer they ever put out for it, but I never looked any further than that. So basically, YouTube wants us all to be egotistical whores with XP. Pretty much. Invincible and Severance wouldn't have had nearly the popularity with the binge style release. Very, very fucking true. Or at least it'd be one of those things where everybody talks about it. Like, you hear a lot of, like, a little bit of praise for it. Like, hey, man, you got to check this out. But you wouldn't have the swell at all. What's the worst movie you ever watched? I mean, like, production-wise, like, everything involved-wise, like, Birdemic? Definitely. But I enjoy it because of how terrible it is. Now, the movie The Turning was much better put together, but was boring as fuck and not entertaining. And I still have that movie experience locked in my brain. Finn Wolfhard was terrible in it. Everybody was terrible in it. It was a terrible, horrible experience, and it was just boring. Better made than Birdemic. I think that is, you cannot argue that. But I at least can enjoy watching Birdemic and all the awful shit in that movie more than that. So it's two different sides of that coin. There's some animated Game of Thrones universe shows in development, so I hope they move forward with them or that they're good. Same. Thoughts on the new Alien TV show? I've disliked the idea of the franchise from third film, and it just keeps going. I will forever love the first two Alien movies. I love the first two Alien films. I like Prometheus a lot. I've still never seen Alien Covenant, and I tolerate the existence of 3 and loathe Resurrection. But the show, I really do enjoy it. Overall, it's got some problems that I have with it, but I do overall enjoy it. Walking Dead animated show would be cool because Clara would survive through the entire series. Spoilers, but yes. Am I going to watch the One Piece movies? I thought about it, but at this point, I don't know how I would work it in. Would I hate or love an animated X-Files series? Well, we just kind of talked about that earlier. It just depends on how it was executed. There was talks of like a Bottom Decks, or what was that, Lower Decks, or whatever, that fucking Star Trek comedy, like a stylings of that, but about incoming or new X-Files agents just digging around, like a workplace comedy about the X-Files, and I just don't think that would work, and I would not want something like that. I would just want something more akin into the stylings of the main show, and to actually seriously tackle some of these things. So I would definitely watch it. It just have to be executed in the same vein as the show, in a way. If you're ever interested in some quick Pokemon action, I'd recommend Pokemon Rogue, or a roguelike Pokemon browser game. Quite challenging but fun. There's a showdown you can check out as well. X-Files animated feels like a blend of Men in Black animated series and Godzilla animated series. I mean, ish, but definitely not that crazy. I'm excited to see Loki being a god in Avengers Doomsday. Me too. Dearly Beloved is such a good OST. Do you have a game that comes to mind when you think of that? I think I immediately, when I hear Dearly Beloved, I think I jump straight to, I think my as much as it's my first association with it goes to the first game, it might go to the second. Because it's that return, that swell, and I think that builds up so well with it. Coming back here for a bit, but I'm just going to say, if Caitlyn and Vi could bang on screen, so will Charlie and Vaggie. Oh, they've already pretty much confirmed they are. Do I play for YouTube Premium? Of course. Deal with ads or use other means. I definitely pay for YouTube Premium because I feel like it benefits me more as a mobile user, because I can lock my screen and still listen to stuff. I don't have to keep the app open to listen to stuff. I don't have ads, and me watching videos supports creators. Ad blockers robs revenue from the creators you are watching. So if you use an ad blocker, I know it's annoying, but watching the ad supports us. So using an ad blocker means your view does not benefit us at all. And honestly, it does hurt your creators, especially if they solely rely on the YouTube revenue, which mine's such a huge chunk of my input. So yeah, that would suck. It does suck. So premium gives you benefits and allows you to not have to deal with the ads and still pay a portion of your premium charge does go to the creators you watch. DCU Green Arrow has a goatee and is comedic. We shall see. Live in the UK, finding you at a convention is a bit tough. You never know. Anyways, Wednesday Part 1 Season 2 is a bit of a mess. It's very overstuffed. I do feel like they definitely, especially in the third episode, drag things out a little bit for sure. Checking out the new Welcome to well, I'm gonna be watching Welcome to Derry. I don't know yet, maybe, probably, but I'm not sure exactly how I feel yet. If you don't end up watching F4 in theaters, will you react to it? Yeah. If I don't end up going to see it in theaters, I will definitely react to it. What's the first movie or show you remember scaring the hell out of you? I was like 7, and it was the first bit of Jumanji. When I was scared and sucked into the board, screaming, I ran away from the room. What was the first thing I remember scaring me? I think it was Roger Rabbit with the fucking villain, with Christopher Lloyd's character at the end. Like when he went all toon and then started melting the animated shoes. That's the first thing I remember terrifying me. That or the It miniseries. Let's see. James the Giant Peach scared me as a kid and made me afraid of evil elderly women. Interesting. I've never seen James and the Giant Peach. The art style turned me off, so I never watched it. I have heard about the new D&D actual play, or Tales from Wood Creek. Deborah Ann Wall DMs for Omn1, Will Wheaton. Oh, God. Is he going to roll as terribly as he did at Critical Role? The Dungeon Dudes and others in LARP-esque game. Well, that sounds interesting. I haven't heard of it, but that sounds like something I'd want to check out. But Karen Page, Deborah Ann as the DM, and Omn1, yes, give me in for that. That sounds like a damn good time. When I met Will Friedle, he was like, you know, I hang out with Will all the time, so I'll make sure to wipe off the curse so I don't pass it on to you when I shake your hand or whatever. God, Will Wheaton has the worst roles in history that I've ever seen. Finally made around to that comment about the Pokemon thing we were talking about, Ginger. I'm behind already. Power Rangers Monsters, Eye Guy or King Sphinx? Either your favorite, best design, creepiest, funny, who'd win a fight? King Sphinx, better design, and also cooler, and I would expect him to win in a fight. I don't remember what Eye Guy's powers were. I can't remember. I mean, feasibly with his powers involved, I think Eye Guy could probably win the fight, but I would want Sphinx to win the fight. The actor who plays Daredevil has sent social media into a meltdown recently with a comment he made, which has been made to people to assume that it implied that season 2 of Daredevil Born Again is the last season. Yeah, I did see that comment as well, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe you misspoke or whatever, because I heard somebody say that's just like a thing that British people say in reference to whatever the previous season is that they've worked on. So I don't know. UK people, chime in, confirm. So I don't know. Once they showed the trailer of the movie, I was about to see in theaters. That's fucking wild. I've never had that happen. There's an insane amount of subplots. There's a main plot with Wednesday, the subplot, Bianca's mom, the avian plot, Enid's romantic plot that takes a bit too much space. Oh, I agree. I agree. Still one of the best themes in my opinion. Agreed. But Omni, Netflix doing shows weekly would mean they lose their excuse of canceling shows because of the overall watch time. Good. Also, all the build up to the stalker plot just to be the redhead feels a bit wasted in my eyes. I don't think it was wasted at all, but especially because she's become a pivotal character. Would you cry if Deadpool dies in Doomsday? I would be shocked. Could they pay off the vision Deadpool saw in his death and Thor crying over him? I'm sure it'll happen, but I don't think it's going to happen in the way that we expect. How do you keep everything synced when you pause for the full length? I don't know what you mean. I mean, it doesn't unsync my video and audio. I'm not sure what you mean, to be honest. Did you hear their talks of Wednesday spinoff? Out of the characters, who would you like to have a spinoff? For me, I'd like to see an Uncle Spinster, a combined Fester and spinoff. God damn it, dude. Uncle Fester spinoff. I don't know. I'm not sure that any of them would have a spinoff I would be that interested in. Don't get me started on Netflix canceling great shows. Oh, will you? Oh yeah, will you upload ballerina reaction on here? Eventually. I don't know what. Again, it's just I've just not had the motivation to review the edit for it yet. So it's edited. The editor sent it to me. I just have to sit down and take about an hour or two and review their edit, and then see if I'm satisfied enough with it and put it up. But I just haven't. I haven't had the mental energy to go around it and do that yet. It's coming. I just can't tell you when. When I feel like it. Fifth Element is such a good time. I remember seeing bits and pieces of it when I was a kid, like really young, and I just was not into it. So I didn't pay attention to most of it. So I'm curious to see, watching it from beginning to end and all of that, how it compares. Digimon versus Pokemon Evolution. Designs: Pokemon, kitty, cheetah, lion, kitty, dinosaur, fridge with machine gun. That is so true. And I love it for it. I love Pokemon to death, but I love Digimon probably more. I mean, Pokemon as a concept makes way more sense, but Digimon as a world, I just find there's just so much more depth. To whoever made the final decision of I am not okay with this getting canceled, fuck you and your mom's a hoe. Okay, Vince? I've never seen it, so I don't know. But sure, why not? The effed up Umbrella Academy and freaking Sandman. They did... I don't know. I can't say that they effed up Sandman. They at least allowed Sandman to end. Now, Umbrella Academy, that's a different conversation. They definitely fucked up Umbrella Academy. Like, Sandman, just like the title of the last episode, was a tale of a graceful end. So even if it's not true and they lied about them always wanting to ending it with the second season, the way they ended it was so beautiful. Like, they told their story in completion, and they did it so well. Like, Sandman seasons 1 and 2, was there so much more story to tell? Definitely. But the way they did it all and brought it all to a close is way more elegant and graceful and well told than any other we've seen. So I love it. It's just, of course, you and I both want to see and spend more time with our lovely little emo man. Also, one more thing about this word poorly. The main plot follows Wednesday as she has visions of best friend Enid dying now. The show should be quite a big thing, but Enid is tied to her romantic plot line, so it's hard to feel any weight or worry, or feel Wednesday feels any weight or worry that Enid is dying. On that front, I disagree. I still feel like they've done a pretty good job with all of that. Anyway, speaking of shows you haven't watched, as someone who loves X-Files and Dark, you need to get around to Battlestar Galactica one day. I don't know. It's interesting to go from X-Files and Dark and then to say, and Battlestar Galactica. Because it's a very different kind of pocket compared to those two. Dark is just a really long series made out of an X-Files concept almost. So that's another thing that drew me to that quite well. But yeah, going from those two to Battlestar Galactica is a pretty big jump. Well, technically in the same genre though. It's me, the stream. I'm the horny one. Anyways, my theories about season 2. Before I do your main theories, what's your main theories about everything with the show, the head, or who the mystery is pointing to? I have no idea. Initially, I thought the woman they rescued from the insane asylum was Ophelia, but now I'm convinced that it's Tyler's mom. That a lot of people have been leaning towards, because, you know, if it was Ophelia, you know, Fester not recognizing her would be something that I feel like they would have called out. Then again, her hair was all shaggy, and we don't know that they've ever met face to face, so there's some ways around that. But my immediate thought was Ophelia, and then after talking about it with other people, it's like maybe it's Tyler's mom, and that's going to connect it to the Tyler thing, and then the whole like, that she's actually been alive this entire time and trapped there. And then, I don't know. And then that'll tie it into why there's that whole mother-son dynamic that Thornhill was trying to create with him, and then for him to actually find his mother. I don't know. But that also might just undercut a lot of other stuff, so I'm very curious to see how it all plays out. When Tyler H is coming back to screen, I need a fix. Ben Starr is a close second, at least, and I've yet to stop watching E33 playthroughs. Apologies if too sensitive a question, but did you ever read Matthew Perry's Thanks to His Friends co-stars in his memoirs? I have not. I haven't read his book yet, but nor have I read any of that. And no, not too sensitive at all. No, I lost my ground. So the first Fantastic Four movies rebooted one part of the MCU canon. If so, which Earths are they set on? Who knows? We don't have that information right now. I do think the redhead is not necessarily a good person. I mean, I think her purpose or her job is to wedge or damage Enid and Wednesday's relationship. Maybe. I don't think she just want to get close to Wednesday. I mean, it's possible. Or she is simply a fangirl. This is off topic, but have you heard of the show Yellow Jackets? No, it's been brought up a lot. Don't really know anything about it though. Think you'd like it, and I would love to see you react to it. It's on my list of shows. It'll whenever we go put up for another poll, it'll be on there. So, don't worry. The first DCU story should be a small story and then go to gradually bigger. I don't know what Homestuck is, and at this point, I'm too scared to find out. I know the two fandoms are very distraught by them being combined. Mostly it's a bunch of people who are Homestuck fans are melting down over the fact that Viv has involvement in bringing the animated series to life. And they can't reconcile with that combination. So I guess like a large contingent of Homestuck fans are just Helliverse haters, is what I've been learning. How long have you been playing League of Legends for, and who's the hottest League character? And do you feed the poros on ARAM? I try to always feed the poros in ARAM. I've been playing League for maybe 10 years? 10, 12 years? Off and on, not consistently. And hottest League character? I don't know, man. That is tough. There's so many babes. Ari or Misfortune are probably top, I think, for me. I just saw a guy walk into the women's room. I should shout that women's restroom, and he goes, "Oh, sorry." He goes next door, maintenance room. Wow. Is the guy just not watching where they're going? Interesting. I'm a Pokemon rewatch. I've got up to Ash's first Pokemon League. Hell yeah. Making progress. As to how she gets her powers back, I think it's really obvious when the music teacher, Billy Piper, says you have to see a stranger here to do an American accent, though. Telling Wednesday to let the music flow through you, and then Mom saying something like, you can't control your powers, you just work with it. She has to do is make the connection between them, and then she will get her powers back. She's already been told everything she needs to know. She's just stubborn and refuses to relent or submit to her powers, or just even coexist or compromise with her powers. Delusional people on the internet? I'm shocked, much silly Alien Earth commenters. Such a specific love and soft spot for Dolph Lundgren. If he dies, he dies. Iconic. And I did not include that in my reaction. Whoops. You know you hit an age when Giles has become attractive. I still swoon over Angel. I'm doing it again. You're doing it again. You are, Ginger. Wonder how many episodes there will be for Alien Earth. There's 8. Do you think Squid Game should have stayed being talking about more if they did weekly? Wait, hold up. Do you think Squid Game would have stayed being talked about more if they did weekly? Probably. I think it definitely would have lasted longer. Long message incoming, sorry. So the new War of the Worlds looks bad. That's what I'm hearing, and what I've seen looks terrible. I feel like nauseous about this, so I hope it doesn't come across that way. I'm likely to be sparse with your streams from now on. I usually took part due to a super crazy coincidence. You probably know that I mention Ruby a lot. I mentioned the randomly checked streams of yours, and I had We Last Reacts saying she started reacting to the show and she was recommended it, so it was a sign for me to stick around and push Ruby a little bit, but I ended up having fun watching, asking questions, listening to your insights, so I stuck around way longer than I expected, but I'm also not a live kind of guy. I like pausing my content. I like running out and hopefully interesting questions to ask you. But it's been fun. I hope it wasn't too annoyed about Ruby. Not at all. Not at all. However, if you do react to Ruby, know that I'll likely be in every stream picking apart your brain and eating at it. Not literally. I don't eat brains, but I wish you nothing but good vibes. Well, I mean, if this is your last one, take it easy, man. All good. No ill will whatsoever. Twister's reaction. Ginger! You remembered. It's been a minute. Who knows? One day, I'm sure we'll get to it. And with that, I pass on my Ruby bullying crown to Vince and Christian to carry on in my stead. Well, I guess this is the last time we'll see you, Hunter, for the foreseeable future. Star Trek Lower Decks is surprisingly really good. Having some banana cream pie today, hell yeah. On your comment regarding Depp possibly returning to Pirate 6 depending on the script, I imagine it also depends on whether he's now open to working with Disney again. I'm sure he's open to getting paid. I think at the other day, he'll be okay with getting paid. What is going on? Hold up. There we go. Let's see. What if they did an animated remake as all of the series, same voices, same everything, X-Files wise? Just like a one-to-one of every episode, but animated? I mean, that feels a little unnecessary. I'd watch it, though. YouTube Premium is the only way I manage, but I honestly watch so much YouTube. I have sleep playlists. I was gonna say, I read that as paralysis for a second for some reason. I can lock my phone and I'm with you, man. It's just necessary. What about premium users who also use ad block? Does that impact you guys? See, I don't know. That's like adding layers. So I don't know. I assume the account would take priority over the ad block, because if you're not going to get an ad, the ad block isn't engaged, so it's not actually blocking anything. So I'd imagine it would still be fine if you're still on a premium account. How many times am I going to meet a red suit guy who doesn't kill? Punisher 2026, probably. Oh god, Judge Doom. Yeah, no. When his high-pitched voice started up, it was fucked. Sometimes I wish I had sound waves. Okay, getting YouTube Premium now. I was always annoyed by the ads, but I will always let them play to help creators. But if I can stop dealing with them and still help them, I'm in. Hell yeah. Here I am being a salesman for YouTube Premium. That's not the intention. I'm just like, I hate it. I am annoyed by it. But ad blockers, while I understand the convenience of it, it just hurts the creators. You're like, oh, take that, YouTube. That's how everybody treats it. But you know, there's no like, in essence, you are depriving the creators you're watching of any kind of support. Like, you're giving them views, you're giving them engagement, but as you're preventing YouTube from paying your creator. Because the ads that play on the video you watch go to the person you're watching. Anyway, so sorry, didn't watch your Halo videos. I heard the show was not so good to people who love the source material. If you have played the games, do you have a favorite? My favorite game overall to play is 3. I think the second game has the best story mode. Like, the story is the best, but I think the gameplay is still a little rough in 2 for me personally. Halo 3 is my favorite of the is my favorite overall game in the franchise. From the story to the gameplay to the multiplayer, all of it, to the maps. But I think Halo 2, as far as like the story, is probably some of the coolest bits. But as far as the conclusion goes, 3 pretty fucking solid. And then everything after that's been pretty hit or miss. James Gunn is a really good movie, very wholesome but a bit spooky with the art. With the French Mrs. Spider and the queer kink awakening for so many. Spider. Oh, yeah, I do recognize that. Yeah, okay. Honestly, not surprised. I miss the simplicity of Wednesday Season 1. It had its flaws, but unlike Season 2, even if it had subplots, they were always a part of the main plot. It's a mystery, but we only had a few questions that were at the core of the mystery. Who's the creature, who's doing all the killings, and who's controlling it? I agree with that. Let's see. I'm assuming your full length is blurred. When you pause and you talk, how do you keep the timer and the video synced for the viewer so they don't lose their place? I mean, in some instances, I pause the timer, and depending on what I'm reacting to, I've not been blurring it. So, because I've been pausing a lot. But I mean, you can just pause the timer and then restart the timer when the click goes back on. I mean, you do a frame hold. You can do. I mean, there's any number of things you can do depending on how you use and how you've built your timer in the editor to just pause the timestamp and to just, I don't know, frame by frame it. I mean, the logistics of like I don't know really how to explain it in any depth other than just restart the time or start the timer back where you stopped it at the same time that you re-engage the video. But yeah, I don't know how else to add to that. Unfortunately, I apologize. I don't know how best to explain it without literally pulling up like Premiere and then showcasing it. Also, having Tyler come back and another potential villain is so boring and bland. We had him as the villain last season. Why is he here now? I'm glad they got rid of the woman who controlled him. But why is Tyler now free? Because there's more to tell with that story, apparently. With Fifth Element and The Matrix were 2 movies I bonded with my deadbeat ass dad over. I mean, The Matrix is a great movie, and people love Fifth Element, so I'm excited to kind of get into it and see if I follow suit with that as well. As a DC fan, what did you think of the guy who played Slade in Arrow? I've watched Teen Titans animated show back in 2000, Slade, and I was wondering which one is more accurate. The one in Arrow is way more accurate. The one in Titans is egregiously inaccurate to comic book Deathstroke. Yeah, the one in the Teen Titans animated series is grossly inaccurate. Let's see. Use it. I don't know what that was for. They have way more characters in Doomsday than Infinity War. I can't wait to see how much screen time they get. Yeah, that's going to be the big question. Is it true that there was talks of having Robert Pattinson's Batman show up in Sandman? No, I don't know where that came from. That doesn't even make any sense. No. The Sandman ending I love and hate for reasons, but I was satisfied and wanted more. It definitely effed up the ending of Umbrella Academy. Yeah, that was terrible. I'm not okay with this as another Netflix original. It got brutally canceled. It was such a good watch, especially with it ending on its first season. Also, it was a great coming of age story as well. Yay. Also, don't know if you spotted it or if this was only me, but the reason Tyler killed his master may be because he has a new master now. Maybe someone more important and special to him that could align with your theory of being Tyler's mother. Or because his mother is alive, she was never the connection, and his Hyde connection is tied to his mom and not her, and maybe him killing Thornhill would allow him to not fall prey to what she was talking about. I was like, if you kill your master, if a Hyde kills their master, they're cursed to follow the same fate or whatever. So I wonder if that's going to play into it. I have a feeling who's going to play Ophelia, but I won't say just in case peeps want to be surprised. I'm curious now. I watched Outer Range recently without realizing it was canceled after season 2. I don't regret watching it, but as I thought, it was super interesting, but damn, I need my endings. Archive 81-2. I think I have an idea based on something one of the actors said, because I have no idea who else they might be playing, and we haven't seen them yet in the season. But I know there's an actor that is yet to appear that is apparently in the season. I'm glad that you have a fine taste in enjoying Beast Wars. My favorite Transformers was, well, did you have a favorite character? Mine was Optimus Prime. That was Optimus Primal. Also Cheetor. Also love the cheeky animal-esque names. Cheetor was my favorite, followed by, I think Cheetor was my favorite for the longest time, and then Dinobot, I think, was my favorite by the end of it. Recently rewatched it. The first season doesn't really hold up for me, but the second season is amazing. The third season is a mix of both. Sad they got canceled, but they were supposed to have 4. Yeah, I'm not surprised. But yeah, it definitely does. It struggles to hold up quite a bit, but it's still got a charm, I think. I'm mad at chat now because I keep thinking of Fred in Angel. I think you start watching some of the One Piece movies after watching episode 516. Why specific? Well, don't tell me. It might be a spoiler. I was gonna say, why specifically that one? Also, Black Arachnia. I understand Silverbolt's attraction to her despite the spider thing. Maybe it was the voice, the femme fatale thing she had going on, but she was the only lady. Rip Eraser. Yes, also very Rip Eraser. But yes, also kind of understand. I get what you're saying. Also, Wednesday being so stubborn and generally infuriating at times. She's a smart person. I don't know if season 1 has taught her this, because it's been a while since I've watched it, but why doesn't she take a single warning seriously, like even once? Because she thinks she's fucking above it all. It's, yeah, it is frustrating. Did you have any of the Beast Wars toys? I had all of them. Almost all of them. I had Transmetal 1 Prime and Cheetor and Transmetal 2, some of my favorite toys as a kid. I would speed run myself to see how... I would try to time myself to see how fast I can transfer them to and from. Because, like, that was, when I'm recreating things in my head, my biggest hang-up as a kid was the delay to do the thing. Like, when you're in the heat of the action, you're coming up with these own little storylines, and you're a little play pretend with your figures. My biggest struggle was like, all right, now it's time to transform, and now I have to take all the time to transform them, and it absolutely kills the momentum. Okay, this is a random one, but have you all checked out the local supermarket for chocolate banana bomb pops? You will not regret it. I do not like the idea of chocolate and banana combined. I don't like mixing chocolate with fruit. I think I've said that before. Also, question, have you seen all 11 seasons of The X-Files? Yeah, of course. Who do you think I am? Now, I've seen the first 9 seasons 12, 13 times all the way through. The 10 and 11, though, I think I've only seen maybe twice each. Because I'll be honest, I don't love them. Like, I love them, but I don't at the same time. But like the original run, 1 through 9, I've seen at least 12 times. Every episode. And then also the movie, both movies. Disney. Okay, Johnny, we're willing to give you 300 million pounds and 1 million alpacas. Will you do Pirates 6? No. I want 1 million and 1 alpaca. Damn, the budget won't stretch to that. Also, Misty is so mean to her Psyduck. Yeah, she does. Misty doesn't deserve Psyduck. He needs therapy. Also, what's your favorite season of The X-Files? And does X-Files greatest season, 10 out of 10 season of television? The hard thing about X-Files is like most of them are inconsequential to the overarching storyline. So it's hard to say. There's always going to be like a 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10 episode in a season. So the whole season isn't going to be flawless. Like not every season, not every episode is like the greatest episode of television I've ever seen. But like because it was truly Monster of the Week with, you know, and then you'd sprinkle in some actual story episodes in throughout that are matter to the overarching plot of the season and the show. Favorite season though, I don't know. 3, 5, 6. It's hard to say like overall season which one I would pick as my favorite season, because like I always think of episodes, because it's hard to think of, while it's laid out in certain ways and each season has its own story from beginning to end. Like it's like I have a hard time associating everything down and boiling it down to just the season as a whole. I'm gonna say like maybe 4 or 3, just right off the top of my head. Psyduck is a lap Pokemon, should be home eating snacks and only be allowed out as far as the fence in the yard. I agree with that one. Also like this debate, but I'll ask you, what are some of the greatest seasons of television you've ever seen, and is it possible that you can get a season of television at first place? For me, it's quite literally impossible to decide. Yeah, I don't know if I can actually decide. You know, I don't know. I'd probably put some of Breaking Bad. If it boiled down to anything, it'd probably be one of the seasons of Breaking Bad, probably. Did I hear about my adventures with Jessica Cruz Green Lantern show premise? Yeah, we heard about that a while back. Have a great week ahead, everyone. Gotta put groceries away. Thank you for stopping in, Summer. We'll see you next time. Jigglypuff is super cute. I want to give it a hug. Okay, I think it's a limitation of my editing software and the way the timer works. I can't pause it like that, but thank you. It's all good. Yeah, I don't know what it is between. I use Premiere, so I'm not sure exactly how or if to do it on anything else. There's definitely ways around it, but I've also found that after talking with some people that know a little bit more about copyright, the fair use, transformation, and stuff like that, if you do enough pausing, it and critiquing and commentating throughout, like you can actually qualify it as transformative enough that maybe you don't have to get away with the timer. I've been really scared about it, but I've been experimenting with it, so I don't know. I haven't like outright done it for everything, but I have done a couple of things where I didn't have the timer at all, but I don't know. I've been playing around with it, because I know ideally that is easier for some people, but it's also a lot harder to kind of navigate, I think, than just watching, the whole way through, because it does force you to be, not that I'm ever not, like super engaged with what you're watching. And then also just, it'll rack up that watch time. Not that watch time, the length. Because I can turn easily. Because I think I did it with one of the movie reactions I did when I was playing around with it. I turned like a 2-hour movie into a 2-hour and 45-minute movie because of all the pausing. So it does make it quite a chore to get through. I can imagine. I can't wait for James Gunn to finally bring us comic book adaptation of Supergirl. Same. Teen Titans is also fairly defanged as a whole, even before they made them all annoying and small. Oh yeah, definitely. Especially because of all the complaints and stuff. Technically, we didn't know that Tyler was the villain till the last couple of episodes of season 1. But now he can go full-blown villain. That's very true. Now he's just literally unchained. I still hate that I got that spoiled, like, I think by the 2nd episode when I was covering Wednesday season 1. But the show was so good, it made me think that spoiler was a troll. If you haven't seen the CW Supergirl, she's essentially Superman if she was a woman, which is literally not what her character is at all. That's accurate. My favorite Beast Wars character was Silverbolt. The romance with Black Arachnia was weirdly wholesome. Yeah, I dug it too. I like Silverbolt. He was very, what's the word I'm looking for? Knight in shining armor. That was his whole character. He was a wholesome little dude. I actually had a Silverbolt toy. Same. I just want more Sandman with Tom. Me too, man. Me too. The slate on Teen Titans kind of creeped me out. The way he kept watching Robin and his team from afar was crazy. Yeah, he was not even low-key. He was high-key a creeper. But then again, less of a creeper than the actual Slade, who is actually, would have been on the Epstein list. Maybe, probably, possibly. Saw a report that the next Avengers film will be long, Omni. Well, I would expect so. CW Supergirl to the comics Supergirl is basically what the live-action Avatar: The Last Airbender movie is to the show. And not even that. I don't think that's an accurate comparison, because one of those is just bad while still telling almost the same story. So it's not even the same. That's not even a good comparison. It would be like, okay, the CW Supergirl to the comic Supergirl is like the live-action Death Note, the Netflix live-action Death Note movie to the actual Death Note anime. The last 2 seasons of X-Files is like two step kids you didn't want, but have to pick up with. Sorry for the dark humor. No, it's more that, I guess, because like I was so excited. We were finally going to pick back up with the plot line that was teased at the end of the original series. And then they just felt this need to like retcon the entire show with just a couple things because they missed the window. The original plan was for the ending of season 9 to lead into a 3-part movie that would conclude the entire mythology storyline. But because of 9/11, Fox was apprehensive of moving forward with a TV show that criticizes the government and all of this in a time where they needed the people to be united. So that's one of the main things that hampered any production on any of the X-Files films. So when they had, because the whole story revolved around the 2012 Mayan calendar date thing, and then this reveal of when the alien invasion would come and all of this other crap and whatnot. And then obviously everything, production halted and all this kind of stuff happened, and then they didn't get to revisit that storyline until after all of that happened. So then they had to come up with a way to circumvent and reconstruct the story in a way that they felt they could not have to address it. And then they changed what that meant. They changed what that was going to be. and then they tried to gaslight the audience into the entire show being something else. And then it just, some weird choices and character decisions that are completely out of pocket. Everything to do with William was completely fucking weird. I would rather pretend it doesn't exist. And we just never learned what happened. But some of their standalone episodes were still really good. But as far as the actual continuation of the primary plot, they absolutely fucked it up. I hate it. Season 10-11 does seem like a cash grab to me. I mean, 10 years later, I don't think it clearly wasn't a cash grab. It was definitely, there was a hunger for it, but Chris Carter felt like, I guess, wanting to do something different and change things up and not being too locked in, beholden to certain things. So they decided to like subvert our expectations of what was already established and then play the question game of what is real, what is not, what have we seen, what have we not, and just to kind of give it a new lens. And I just fucking hate it. I hate it so much. CW Supergirl really be female Superman. Like the job, the glasses, the personality, everything. Everything. Save for her home life. Do you play Roblox? No. You need to make a top 10 episodes of the X-Files with honorable mentions. I had a top 10 list. I don't know if it's changed. I can't remember. I probably wrote it down somewhere and then lost it, but maybe one of these days. Watch out, Omni, Resident Evil Requiem world premiere on Tuesday. And yes, I'm still making my way through those games. Get ready for RE9. Dude, I can't wait. I can't wait for a new Resident Evil game. What's up, Roberto? How am I doing? I'm good. Just watched Weapons, and it was the best horror movie I ever watched. That's some high praise right there. Recently started watching Resident Alien. Just got to season 2. Goddamn, Alan Tudyk is a talented actor. I really want to watch more Alan Tudyk stuff, where he's actually Alan Tudyk, and not just a voiceover. Old pull, but I feel the same way about the sci-fi show Sanctuary, where the first 3 seasons I watched like a million times, but then the quality dipped and the fact that they were canceled showed. Yeah, for sure. No spoilers, just keep that episode number in mind. Gotcha. Real quick, and then season 4 end. Also, I should have said this much earlier, but Doom hasn't finished writing an ending to their movie. It's quite literally insane. Yeah, the whole way they build these things out is kind of wild. I read that the creator of Sandman briefly considered wanting Pattinson's Batman as a cameo at the funeral, but it was just in conversation, nothing came of it. I mean, I guess that's like, because in the comics, every hero, every villain in the DC pantheon, well, not everybody, like, but Superman, like all of the Justice League attended Sandman's funeral. Hell, Darkseid and attended Sandman's funeral. Like a lot of the cosmic level and heroes and villains of the DC universe were all in attendance at the death of Dream, at his funeral. So, I guess maybe there was some temptation to include somebody from the DC universe. But with the show having done so much to disconnect it from all of that, to not be locked into any of the other shows and stuff like that, especially considering DC and Warner Brothers sold that shit off to Netflix to begin with, it just would have been weird. Also, I have a bone to pick with Wednesday Season 1. How did I not see the fact that the monster was Tyler the entire time? I have no idea. Not like us starts playing. Next Avengers film will be 6 minutes long. That's it. Comic slate is wild. Yeah. Is One Piece worth starting to watch? I'm a little turned off with the amount of episodes there are. If you're not like recording, editing, you've given your thoughts at the end of it, and you just want to binge through it, it is very bingeable. And it is it's like really good. I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun, a lot of crazy adventures. Like I even enjoy the filler episodes that we've gotten a lot. And I know a lot of people just are adamant about skipping that kind of stuff, but I think it's a pretty easy watch. It is still going to be a long watch. You'll finish it long before I do if you get into it. The East Blue saga, like the first saga, is so, it's so kinetic. I think you'll be sucked right into it. Not gonna lie, kind of like Tyler chained and topless. Oh my Oz, I need a cold shower tonight. I apologize. All good, Ginger, all good. I haven't seen Dodgeball. I did. I've seen it like a couple times back in the day. Hope Avengers Doomsday won't end with Doom shaking his fist and everyone turns to dust so he wins. I would be shocked if they did the same thing. Every living entity in the multiverse technically attended the funeral at Morpheus because everybody is connected to the universal subconscious. True. But it's like, hold up. Yeah, I can't find a screen cap of it. I was trying to see if I could find like a screen cap of it, but anyway, not gonna get locked in on that. Anyway, have a good night, Omni, you two, Sheldor. Dr. Doom is Tony Stank. Alan is great in Firefly. I still need to watch that at some point. What's that instrumental song playing in the background? Depends. I don't know what it just was, but it's on Dearly Beloved right now. And again, I had it looped and we're on a wholly different video now. How? YouTube, you're terrible. It says it's still an 8. Whatever. Who the fuck cares? We're at the end of the stream at this point. Let's see. Definitely recommend. Ari and Miss Fortune are the top 2 hottest ladies. Ladies as well. Good taste. Hell yeah. Quite literally forgot about what I was going to say entering into the stream, but Wednesday Season 2 Part 1, I noticed Xavier wasn't there at all. It turns out he's been accused of some serious stuff, but Tim Burton's, or Jim Ortega, one of them, said that Xavier was going to play a huge role. Most of the season had to be rewritten without him, but why couldn't they recast him? Yeah, I don't know. They could have easily recast him, but the way they incorporated his involvement, at least so far in Part 1, I kind of liked it, you know, with him being transferred into his school because of all the shenanigans going on, and then him sending that vision, that painting. I think that's fine. Perfectly fine. I like how they did that, but if he's supposed to play a bigger role later, I wondered how and if that changed as well. YouTube bloop, huh? Is that French for something? Also, you have another subscriber who's watched Falling Skies, so you may need to watch the trailer for Season 1 to add it to the if you watch this. Firefly I mentioned. And then before you end the chat, please, look at this stylish occult merch. Okay, I'll check it out. Let's see. Oh God. The Helliverse characters in the style of Homestuck is taking me out. The Luna, Stolas is still Stolas. Stolas is so, his design's so rock solid, it's still shining through quite well in his little thing. The Moxie, though, is killing me. Blitz looks extra gremlin-y. Yeah, these are pretty funny. These are nice. This is funny. I like that. Oh, and then the team-up shirts, or the Blitz and Karkot? Whoever the hell that is. I don't know shit about Homestuck, like I said. I don't know shit about it. Like, even in the zeitgeist of everything, I do not recognize these characters. Even before I ever started the Helliverse or anything like that, I recognized some of them, at least. I think just the art style maybe in general, but like I at least had like maybe seen some of them in passing. But I don't know, yeah, fuck all about Homestuck. If I mention having Batman randomly at Dream's funeral wouldn't have made sense. Yeah, in the show, not at all. Who has had your favorite arc in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Like, character? Fitz. Fitz, for sure. He was falsely accused. Are we talking about the Xavier dude? I don't know the details. I just know that there was an on-set investigation and a bunch of other stuff, and they opted to not have him come back. I don't know the ins and outs. I don't know what happened. Whatever. I have no idea. Apparently the girl admitted she was wrong. Yeah, I've got zero knowledge on the ins and outs of all of it. Anyway, didn't mean to derail you on Sandman. I agree that there were a lot of cameos at the funeral. Some are hard to spot, but there are in-context clues. I wish the show had been able to do that. That would have been sick. He did leave of his own accord and wasn't fired. And wow, he was working in a cafe if he was falsely accused. I wish the best for him. So you missed my chat about Falling Skies. No, I read it. I totally read it. 100% read it. I know I'm getting tired because I read Accord as Alucard. Hey, it happens, man. I read, what was it, Playlist as Paralyzed earlier. Or Paralysis. Peacemaker Season 2 in the corner. I might need to binge Season 1 because I haven't watched it yet. It's worth it. It's definitely an enjoyable watch. At least I found it to be so. Doesn't mean everybody's going to find it so, but I really enjoyed Season 1. Alright, gang. I'm going to get ready for dinner. I'm going to be watching, what was I talking about? Fifth Element tonight. Fifth Element. I'll be watching that tonight. Be recording my reaction to that, and we'll see what happens there. Ironically, I do also have sleep paralysis, so you weren't wrong. I've had that a couple of times. It's fucking freaky. Oh, my bad. I'm watching it on TV, low volume. Watching the YouTube TV app. Alright, guys. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you for hanging out. And I will see you guys next Saturday. Take care, everybody.